Right. So I did a practice run of this and it was 13 minutes. So down, pay attention because there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Just to get you following along the same lines and reaching similar conclusions for what is possible. I hope for more arrangement and structure in this talk, so let's see how it goes. That means I am recognizing the probability of our life together is at the beginning. And there are still so many conversations to have and questions to reflect upon. So give me a smile. Not because you know the ending, but or you can pinpoint probability unfolding, but because this experience is worth your time right now, at this moment, to the highest degree. So what do I want to do? I wanted to reach towards what it means to start over and grasp onto a new possibility or change your intention completely. It's about grasping for support and not worrying about our past predictions or irate assumptions and difficult reactions to what we can no longer contain inside. But what we need to do to make sure that we both want to move forward together and on the same page, where we witness each other's burdens alongside the joys and trust there is a positive future if you're conscious of your words. So, what do I mean by that? I'm not saying I don't care to hear your opinion if you have any questions. Questions are fantastic because they don't really need to be monitored for any background. You are already unsure. That's why you're asking. Okay, nor am I saying that you have no ability to complain now. The day will naturally unfold with multiple directions that may not be eager to accept, but they are still part of the day. Therefore, I welcome any uncertainty you may have, and it can be as specific or as broad in context as you want it to be. Which is just like I want to positively hear what you're proud about. However, that energy intensifies your mind. Only know that, be sure that when you say something, you don't believe the perception is yours alone. Of course, it's your insight and your understanding, but feel comfortable enough that I will take it in like it's my own feelings to figure out. So we merge our intensities and work together to solve the problems of the day, week, or even lifetime. We don't back down. So have it that when I ask any questions, I'd rather you didn't antagonize your mind with why I'm asking. If you want to know, and I will certainly have reasons, feel free to bother me with intentions, but they may be different from what you have already concluded. So I just ask you remain open to understanding. Work with me on that. We can even branch out for different possibilities for occurrences, wondering what exactly is happening, noticing changes in plights, because nothing remains specific for too long. Meaning, if we condition ourselves to say that we only notice what is wrong, then it will automatically create a negativity in our lives. I guarantee it. Potentially, negativity will occur very easily in everything we persist at then. So you don't need to necessarily guard your questions as much as you do your responses, which potentially they can hit people at different forces of anguish. Uh, As I have experienced life, and I know what it means to be at your lowest possible point and only relying on your mind and way of thinking to get you through life altering decisions to the point I cannot sit here and complain about anything. It's not what I'm doing. I just can't. Because that's a dead end to production of any kind, to any forward movement. I will only see things that need to preferably be activated with more understanding now. Everything that happens in someone's life has a potential to be a learning experience. I truly believe that. It just depends how we approach the situation. And if we sit with the information and we watch it to observe what is happening, or we let it slip by. I came across interesting perspective in my reading. It may actually be a combination of ideas, but it's to realize that a person does not go and search out for happiness and peace, but it's to realize that a person, because it's innate, it is a natural construct of the mind. We'll say at rest. I think I read this idea somewhere in Buddha knowledge and in books by Rupert Spira, who looks at all religions, having the perspective that hate is what is searched out for and determined by outside forces. Whereas we need a clear consciousness to find out that you only exist within the decisions of yourself, of your being. We control our mind and how it reacts to circumstances or possibility. Everything is a learning experience. So to culminate by saying, life, life is truly about love. Anything, just the natural formation, about finding the right energy needed to succeed in a performative path and opening up your heart. Everyone performs different roles in life. We ignite different responsibilities for what is expected of us. It's not changing who we are. It's like carrying a different shield for protection wherever we go by using our choreographed nature to proceed. It helps people to coexist with understanding while we make sure to follow our own heart and our own breath. You have the biggest heart I've ever caught a glimpse of. And I wonder sometimes everything you see. So, what does the future hold? I think there are many opportunities and chances to activate our lives if we can just pinpoint our similar goals and reach for the stars, so to say. We will only seem overwhelmed if we can't clearly see where we're headed, as I'm sure you realize. In a sense, it's like wanting to reach the moon, but being distracted by the stars. You ultimately need to have a clear plan in mind and know the purpose of your journey. You may have goals, even probabilities of things occurring. You don't enter a situation blindfolded, thinking you can work well with whatever occurs. If you do, you might disappoint yourself because you expected you could rely on instincts over thought, when in reality, they work together and in motion. So don't pause or stay still. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.